what is a state in general. Want to firstly, it's a form of human association. Like, for example, society is a form of human association as well. A tribe is a form of human association as well. A family is a form of human association as well. So how these are distinguished from each other, or maybe they have different aspects. So a tribe can be part of society as well as a state. A family can be a part of society as well as state. But one thing is clear: a society is a form of human association, and can be distinguished from other human association by its function. For example, function of market, or purpose, if you want to say, or telos. So the purpose of market is not to establish order, for example, even though well-functioning of market might be part of the establishment of order. So even though a state is a form of human association, it can be distinguished from other form of human associations like market by its function, its purpose, and its telos. They are similar sort of things. So we can say that the purpose of market is selling and buying, but the purpose of state, on the other hand, is to establish order, for example. Establish order and security. In that sense, it's a human association based in human needs. Human association based in human needs. So the state is a form of human association. It can be distinguished from other human association by its function, which is to establish order, security, peace. And it does it because the function of society might be the same, for example, to establish order and peace. But then we would distinguish society from state in its the way it establishes. For example, in family, you establish order and peace of some sort too, and in tribe, and in a community. But it might be different from in a way, or the method. And one of the method of establishing order is what distinguish it from is force. What distinguishes a state from other institution and association is force. And normally that force is manifested in laws and their implementation. But not every use of force can can be called the method of state, because for example, a bunch of robbers, for example, they also use force, and the rebels might use force as well. Rebels against state, for example. Obviously, it's easy to distinguish between these uses of force because rebels and robbers are not using force to establish order. But not every type of force is the normal modus vivendi of the state. What distinguishes the state's use of force from other use of forces is that it is normally, as long as the state is considered a legitimate state, that use of force is considered legitimate as well. Like people accept, even if they don't like it, they accept that use of force as a legitimate. Even if if a traffic police stops you, even if you are miffed at that, still you generally think that it's the right thing to do. They have the right, they have a legitimate right to stop you, for example. If you don't recognize the legitimacy of a state, then that state, if a large number of people don't recognize the legitimacy of that state, then that state is a very weak state and can't exist for a long time, for long. Yeah. So what distinguishes the modus vivendi of the state from other human association is the force, but not any use of the force, but generally the legitimate use of force. Okay, these are the most important thing, but then you have other things like most states have a territory. It's a human association with a mass of land where people live. So we can't think of human association generally without a land, or if they live in part of water, like in Southeast Asia, that will include water as well. But that comes under the general meaning of territory, and the area of jurisdiction. So jurisdiction means in that area the laws of that associations are enforced and respected, etc. And generally it has geographical boundaries as well of some sort. And one of the most important aspects, and most of the states have some sort of, based on some sort of notion of sovereignty. Now, sovereignty literally means, I think, supreme authority. So supreme power, what in Urdu we will call Hakmiyat Ala, or the ultimate authority. Obviously this authority is considered legitimate otherwise by most people in that state, implicitly or explicitly, and they refer to this supreme authority whenever there is any disputes in the use of force, etc., making of law. So it's an abstract concept, but in most conception of sovereign state, you will find a conception of sovereignty. For example, the modern state sovereignty belongs to the people. In tribe, the sovereignty belongs to the elders or their traditions, etc., whatever they are. Islam, it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, etc., and his book and the words of his messenger, etc. So these are some of the main elements of any conception of state, any conception of at least developed states, irrespective of whether they're modern states or medieval state or ancient state. So now what is the modern state? So modern, obviously in modern time, state